Oh, hello there!
Ads are starting. Delen will continue the conversation after the ads are over. Thank you for supporting the stream.
Good day, good day, good day. We are dealing with Delen today. It is Friday, and I feel Pride Day. Basically, having one of those days where I just cannot get my head in the game. I mean, I want to play. I totally want to play. But honest to goodness, I can't face this thing today. I'm going to try and think about it over the weekend, probably tear it out next week, and we'll try again. But I'm not liking it. This is awful. So we will see a lot of it today, though. We're going to deal with the land, and I'm just going to level things out. I just need a bit of a calmer day like that. We are going... we are going to be playing around with... Not Blackstone. This needs to go up here. Let's put the wool in here for now. So I'm not dealing with that. And we're going to switch for some... dirt. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Why can't I think of that today? So that's what we're doing. Yes. And there'll be some other random project-y stuff. No, oops. don't need those at the moment. It's going to be a bit of a maintenance kind of day just for my own headspace. And we will have, but if Fantastic Shock Fox happens to be able to, we still have a good number of diamonds that need to get chopped up. We have, so there's 48 ore that need to get broken up. And I meant to block these. There we go. That's not trying to show off. We are probably going to use these for something else as well, beyond just simply shopping. So I need to get moving, and maybe we can do a little trading for the beacon stuff. We'll see. We shall see. Okay, so in the meantime, I want to get the dirt done. So let's start with this. Actually, I'm going to leave one piece on each spot because that helps with the sort. There we go. Alright, and if I run out, I can always come back and get more. But some days, you just need a break, you know? So I'm headed out to camp today, and it's one of those days where I don't wanna. Yeah, I don't wanna. So, not sure what to say about that other than just that. But, you know, it is what it is. We're supposed to have a Halloween party for scouting on Sunday. I'm not prepared for that either. And that feels weird as well, because I'm used to being all up on that kind of thing, and I'm just not this time. So, yeah, it's awkward. What's this? Ledge? Good. Go. Come on. Good place. It's not going to hurt you. Jeez Louise. Sleeping's probably got something to do with it, but come on, game. Get with the program. I mean, I'm not with the program. Doesn't mean you have to play the same stunt. Aha. Good, I can deal with that. That broke at the perfect spot. Love it. I was playing with my audio yesterday. We're not going to make a huge saga out of it, but suffice to say, I had a bit of a minor epiphany about the audio. And it occurred to me to bother to check, ask the internet, which order filters apply. Because it seems like every time I press new, it always adds the item at the bottom of the list. And my brain went, hang on a sec here. Does that mean that actually they should be applying from top to bottom? I'd been treating them as applying from the bottom to the top for 2.5 years, I think, something like that. So yeah, we'll see if that makes any difference to how things operate. At the moment, we are, I believe, operating on the physical mic directly, and I don't know if that's what I want long term, but it does mean, in theory, I don't have to run one little piece of software. So anytime I don't have to run a piece of software extra, makes my computer a bit happier. And a happy computer equals a happier Delenn, right? Maybe? Well, I pretend that's the case, but it's not really true. But we get closer. We get closer. 1, 2, that's fine. Okay. So yeah, that's where we're at today. I'm hoping the mic will sound okay for the duration of the stream. One of the things I discovered, I was listening to my VOD, and I was discovering that even after we made the reboot changes yesterday to the software that was running the microphone, it deteriorated over the course of the stream. I do not know why. It sounds, I mean, it's one of those things where it makes you want to say it's a garbage collection problem, but I don't know, because just things got worse. So I'm hoping today won't be another one of those, but you never know. So we'll do our best. And I still have a room echo no matter what I do about it. No clue. I think it's frankly the fact that I have a room that has a reason for echoing. It wasn't as bad when I didn't have as much, or as many surfaces for things to bounce off of, so that says I need to clean my desk. But, you know, you do your thing, right? You do what you gotta do. Interesting. Okay. So then we'll go from this side, 2 blocks back, and we'll square it off around the corner. Ow. I just need to, it's not about having this side project left undone. I just need to not work on that other big one today. Some days you just have those days where you need to get out and do something a little different. As I said, I'm not happy with organic shapes, so I'm working on alternative solutions to the problem. But at the moment it does not look like I've got one handy. One of the other reasons I'm not working on it right now, actually, is because I need to preserve the mental energy that takes for camp. It sounds silly, at least it does to me, but I find camp, particularly the setup side of it and the stress of packing for it and getting everybody ready and making sure that I'm out the door on time, which doesn't generally happen, but those sorts of things, I find those really stressful, which takes a lot of mental energy out, and I don't want to be burnt out at camp. It's just not a smart idea. So, yeah. So anyway, what that comes down to is that I'm just saving it here, and if it's one of those I don't want it days, I just don't want it. Now, it's not that I'm not having fun. I'm totally having fun. But as I said, working on a build that I'm not comfortable with is a little bit more taxing. But the other reason I'm actually working on this is intentionally removing the no excuse projects. So if I do this one, then there's no excuse, right? I've got nothing left. So I was dragging my feet because my excuse was I didn't have any blackstone. Well, once we took that excuse away, we got the record done. So yeah, one of those days. Ooh. Itchy ear. But also I've talked about wanting to go under the base and make sure that there's nothing in there for caves and such. I don't know if I'm going to do that today or if the other derailing side project is either a super smelter or a more direct access to the spider farm. I was looking at where we have to go, like it's quite a ways out that direction, and I'm not sure what Y level I'd want to put it at. That's part of the problem. Let's pull that one. Low. Put it down here maybe? Almost, not quite. So anyway, we got things to do. If I really wanted to, I could fire up Notion and see what else is on the list. I'm making a grand list of things. We've talked about it a couple times. I've got a ability in stream now for someone to punch in for me what the project of the day is, I guess. And not project, the idea of the day, because I seem to be thinking of ideas. But what I'm also doing is listing out the basic infrastructure projects that we do every time, just so that when I go start a new world, I have a list of, okay, you do this, then you do that, then you work on this other thing, and which just makes it a little bit more mechanical. And hopefully we'll get things a little bit faster. I know every world's different based on what resources are available to you right from square one. Even on this server, it's always going to be different because there's always a different level of advancement on the server already completed by the time I show up. And that's not a complaint, that's just it's part of what makes things different. Oh. Sorry. Thought I heard something weird in the song, but nope. Not quite as strange as I thought. Okay, let's put torch here. There we go. And that needs cut back one there, I think. Nope, not this time. Actually, it does. Okay. Let's see, what do we got? 2 back from here is this one. There. Here. That one. There we go. Which one? 2 songs from Alice in Wonderland. The question becomes, what version? Because there's a modern one, more modern version that was done for television, I believe, that had, I believe, Gene Wilder in it, and there's some ridiculous song in there about beautiful soup, apparently, was taught by the mock turtle. Disturbing, because I think you keep thinking of turtle soup when I think of the character teaching it, but yeah, so mock turtle was teaching about turtle soup. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're fine. So that's one. And the original one, the original Disney version, I don't think had a whole lot of songs in it. There might have been one about the tea party, but I can't recall because it's been a while since I've watched that one. Oh, nope. And pull this one, this one. But if we're... I don't know who wrote that song because it wasn't me. That song who wrote that question. So the only version of Alice in Wonderland I could think of right now was not a Disney product. But there was one about... I think they called it Can You Do Addition? And in the version of Alice in Wonderland I'm thinking of, it was not, as I say, not a Disney program. It was super star-studded, made for TV in the 80s. And in this particular song, it features the main character, Alice, and I can't remember who she was played by, not an actress I recall anyway. With a horrible wig, by the way, but that's neither here or there. She has the Red Queen and the White Queen of chess singing at her about being able to do her math. And now, just by mentioning that, I've got the song going through my head. And there's not much of a tone to it. I'm just getting a coffee thing first. I'm trying to resist actually singing. Not because of camp, just because... yeah. But miserably failing. Because now that I've got a song stuck in my head, that's one of my easiest ways to get my earworm out, is to go through it. Slightly changing topics then as a way of avoidance. We've got a different song. There's another one she sings, or not she sings. Oh, where am I? Where did I put the bed? I'm not carrying it. What did I do with it? There it is. There's another song that was about, well, Tweedledee and Tweedledum got a song about how do you do shake hands. The Walrus and the Carpenter is another one that's famous from Alice in Wonderland that has been covered many, many times by other artists. For example, like they have Tweedledee and Tweedledum doing it as a song in the musical television version I'm referring to. I've also seen a cover of it or heard a cover of it by Donovan from the bygone era, and or Donovan Leitch as he kind of went by for a while, which confused the heck out of me because he never used to go with his last name. Wrong side. I'm on the completely other side of the building. No, I'm not. Where was I working? I didn't finish the stairs, trust me. Oh. Let's not have mistakes and get surprises. So we've got The Walrus and the Carpenter is one, and I don't think they put that in the Disney song. I actually can't remember what was in the Disney one, to be honest with you. It's been so long since I've seen that one. I still have the math song going through my head. which is kind of distracting, but that's my own fault. There we go. That's where I was working. But it's one, the reason I absolutely, well, I should say the reason. One of the things I absolutely love about this 80s production is comedian Steve Allen had a lot to do with the writing, even though he's a horrible singer. And he doesn't sing in the show. He's very smart about not doing so. But he's the kind of guy, he's the period of guy you would think of when people think of like the older stuff, Dick Van Dyke's Show and so on. And Steve Allen was one of those era people. Okay, something I did about these stairs is way janky, so it's not coming out the way it should. I'm gonna cut it back by 1 for now, and then we'll fix it later because that just looks weird. And probably explains where I'm. Oh no, I was gonna say probably explains where I'm getting mobs from, but it doesn't. That's a lower slab, so I don't know. But, so I like this one because then I could be really annoying about the character voices when I'm belting out songs in the car. I feel sorry for the kids sometimes. The thing is, if one's wanting to do impressions of the musical theater actors or actresses, you can't do a whole lot better than making fun of Carol Channing. I'm sorry, but she has an absolutely recognizable voice that there's a few voices that made it into singing theater that I have no clue why they ever made it into singing theater. It just boggles my mind because by today's vocal standards they totally would not have. One notable case in point is I honestly, there's a lot of stuff I would not have ever picked Streisand for. Barbara Streisand. She's well known for musical theater, but I would not have picked her for a lot of the things that she was in. So, yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess I didn't do it wrong if this is the front. This isn't the front. Okay, that explains a bit more. Probably gonna need to redo the stairs on all sides once I get it leveled up, but I'm not going to worry about that at the moment because that's an activity for another day. Okay, what have we got? 2 out from everywhere. Where's the highest one? This is jump, jump, jump. 70. Okay. Let's give myself a 70 reference point on this side. These were where we had the LAs tied up outdoors, and certainly don't need that anymore. Thank you for changing it. Geek Out on Disney Animation. 3 named felines. Oh. Oddly enough, the felines from Lady and the Tramp do actually have individual names. Yeah, this is going to need to get fixed because I shouldn't have that level with this, but there we go. So, we've got, there's Tom O'Malley I'm thinking of from the Aristocats. And then, there's definitely more from that. I just, blanking at the moment. Did that actually make its way all the way out? Huh. Puss from Puss in Boots, yep, for sure. That wasn't a Disney one, that was a DreamWorks, but I'll go with it. It was Puss, I believe, from Puss in Boots, but either way, he often goes by the whole thing. Okay, so 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and down here 2. Okay, good. Which means this bottom ridge is wrong. It needs one more out here. And that gave me a jump. So there's clearly something underneath this that needs to get my attention at some point. All right. Go to the corner. Let's see. Why am I thinking about that? I just was collecting Disney cards this morning, digital ones. Yesterday. And just yesterday, I picked up a whole bunch from it was just a set involving the cats from Aristocats. And sort of Little and Loved theme. Nope, this doesn't need to go this far. Okay, 2. This one. That one. 8, 9, 70. Go. This isn't meant to be a weird song, but I think I'm just gonna skip it. Yeah, that was... Not sure what I want to get out of that one, but it was Full Moon Party .mauve was the name of the song, but it just seemed creepy, and while creepy may be the theme of the month, it doesn't work for me. So anyway, so I was just dealing with the Aristocats. They've got... And I'm trying to remember what their names are, because I ran into it yesterday, but apparently the cats from Lady and the Tramp actually have their own names. I did not know that. So it's one of those, learn some every day things. One. And in the corner of the building, right? Yeah, that's the corner. 1, 2. Okay. I'm going to finish that column first. I'm going to do like we did the other side and just pull the corner all the way out and see how far down it goes. That will determine what I cut out of this section here. But it's too deep. There. Hello. This will come down 1, 2, and then I've got I did it wrong again. What I mean by that is I shouldn't say a faster way to do this, but a more effective way, rather than always coming out underneath, is if I do both layers of this, then I have the next piece, right? Because I only want to come down 1, 2, 3, but I had to do more of it in the meantime. Yeah, so the cats do have their own name. I wish I knew what they were. I think one of the cats, the mom white cat in Aristocats, might be Anastasia, but I can't recall. I know that's the Cinderella princess. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Spanky. How are you? How are you and the potato family doing today? How is life for you? Sounds like it could be pretty crazy busy. Is that one out? Okay, this will be 2. 1, 2. Oh, cut my little space out. All right, that's fine. Uh-oh. Got my space out right as it becomes nighttime. Okay, let's put this at the top. This is okay, fine. There we go, that'll do. Well enough. Oh, somebody slept. Yay! I'm not going to worry too much about saying much in chat because I suspect that what I see in chat is probably someone else streaming, so I'm not going to fuss about that. Oh, we ran out. Okay. It's alright. Okay, let's finish this part on the corner. So we got 2, 2, 2, 2. So I can cut this one down. Oops. It stays. Two, two. Almost there. Is this one? Yeah. To here. This is the last one. And it goes down 2 blocks. Be 65, and then 64 is this one. Oops. 1, 2, that's down. It makes some sort of sense at some level. Okay. So this comes out here. Go down. 64. Perfect. Oh, not perfect, but it works. 1.
Ads are starting. Dylan will continue the conversation after the ads are over. Thank you for supporting the stream.
As we said before, conversation, that's optimistic. There we go. All right. We can peel her down and get the obvious section fixed on this side. Then we only have one more side to go. Now, I know what I'm going to be doing for next month's stream weekend, because it's something... Ooh, whoops. It's something I told myself I was going to do for a while. So, we're going to get there. We're going to get her fixed and done. And next month, we're going to do a flying glove. The... Oh, what do they call it? The dreadful flying glove. Yeah. So, that's the plan. Whether we get Nowhere Man done before that or not, I have absolutely no clue. But the Dreadful Flying Glove is one that I'm fairly certain I can wing that, just because it's a lot of just blue. It's not rocket science compared to some of the other items. This one. Oops, what did I do? 2, 2, 1. 1, 2. Okay, so I should chop this off. There. Okay, that's better. It looks weird, but it works. This one's got to come off here. All right, ads came out. Yay! No more ads! Well, for the moment. All right. So what I'm going to do... This is the end of it here. Let's put a line. Got fixes to make, but get this done. So yeah, one of the other reasons I'm not going to say too much or shut out too much is... Shut out, yes, that's the word. Too much is because it's probably someone else's stream going on at the moment. It's all good. If I do this right, it should meet up with some of the stuff we were doing on the other side. Whoa. Okay. Well, for the time being, don't worry about that. We'll deal with it later. I'll come back and deal with the stone shortly. Are we on? Yeah, this is... So this is the original side of the house, which of course has no, what's this? Yeah, has no room for mobs to spawn up top, at least not much. And then it has a bit more jankiness for holes underneath. But yeah, that's the beginning. That's where everything started. So this is what I was trying to model all the stairs off of. And what I might do is quite literally cut all the stairs, stone stairs back to look like this, to wherever the level of the terraforming thing gets to, and just terraform it down and say to heck with these fancy stairs, because obviously I don't think I did a good job on other sides of the building. So I'm going to just take them out. Okay. 64 is here, right? Right. Okay, so let's just chop this bit. Okay. Oops, I guess I should put torches in my hand like I'm mining. That would make sense. Well, none of this is staying, so that's fine. Oops. None of this is staying, she says. There we go. Wow, how deep did this get? Good grief. Apparently it had its own hill. Cleaning out is crazy. There we go. There's the roof. All right. I actually enjoy digging out. It's one of those things I really do like. If one could make decent content of doing nothing but that, I actually might. I know I'm going to take that out later, but at least it means I don't have to carry those 2 blocks. There's the cave. How bad are we? Huh. Okay. We're on 64 though. Dang. There's from the other side. Oh, I'm on 62. How did that happen? Hang on a sec. Okay, so I've got to be 64. I need to just chop through, but it's not easy for me to think of today. Let's see, what do we got? 6 gods or goddesses of Egyptian mythology. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, because that's it. Most people think of, you know, sun god Ra. I think it's sun god? I don't know. And then there's the, Honestly, they mocked them so much at in the Night of the Museum series that I honestly thought I'd remember, but I'm not. Oh, did I? Dang it. I want that one. Let's go. I know I'm gonna have to change this out eventually for grass, just to make it all look good, but I'm not gonna worry about that one at the moment. But this is definitely one of those caves that, or semi-caves that I guess will be coming back in to fill up. We got little side projects, so that we don't get things going grr at us while we're trying to work. And I hate being down here when the sun goes down. Even lit up, it just feels weird. You can have a torch. There, okay, we made our way through. Where did I put the bed? There it is. Excuse me. Let's roll this. It's a Disney kind of day. I'm going to say Elsa and Anna and leave it to everybody else to pick up some of the other ones, because that would be a serious giveaway. No, I do not want to build a snowman. Although riding around the halls on a bicycle sounds like a lot of fun. You want to build a snowman or ride our bike around the halls? Can't remember the line in the middle. And then something about, started talking to the pictures on the walls. Hey there, Joan. And yes, one of the joys of going to camp is the poor kids in our vehicle get to hear me being goofy with whatever we listen to in the car, for better or worse. And the question of the day in the Discord, for what it's worth, is assuming you got stuck doing karaoke and with no choice to say no thank you, what would be your go-to song? There you go. And things people know would probably be my go-to generally, but the difference is that first, I learned the hard way. Make sure you know all the lyrics before you try to do something that isn't written in the books or on the screen. And the second piece is beware of songs people know too well. Because if they know it too well and you don't meet their expectations, the feedback isn't great. And sometimes people aren't rude about it if you're in a public place doing karaoke. But it'll be something like, if you're good and it's a song they know, and I'm not good, but if it's a song they know, then frequently they'll just stop what they're doing and listen for a while. If you do a good job at it, then they keep on listening, and you can tell by the level of chatter volume in the restaurant, or sometimes if people join in or whatever. But if you're terrible, or just not their style, I guess is probably a better way of putting it, then the volume rises in the restaurant again as people start ignoring you, which is fine. But then sometimes the volume will rise loud enough that you can hear people chattering about how bad the other person is. And I've seen some situations where the person singing was actually pretty terrible. I won't make any bones about it. But that I just thought it was really rude that I was sitting not close to the front, and you could still hear the other people talking about how not good the singer was, and still the person kept on, and I'll give them credit for that, because they were having a good time. And they weren't drunk, which is the other part I find interesting. Here's another silly question. For those of you that are aware of the James Corden carpool karaoke, how many of you would actually admit to at least humming along if you knew the song that they were doing? As much as I of late have maligned Kenneth Branagh for, things being the Kenneth Branagh show when he does some of his movies, and a lot of the movies that he does basically it's Kenneth Branagh doing whatever it is. Regardless of what the character he's playing, it's always Kenneth Branagh. You can tell, right? He's not one that can play different characters. So when I saw Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets with Kenneth Branagh in it, I was like, oh great, here we go. But he was absolutely perfect for the character of Gilderoy Lockhart, which J.K. Rowling has more or less said that's kind of what she had in her head. Like, him doing him was kind of what she had in her head when she wrote the character in the books in the first place. And it wasn't just a matter of you do you, buddy. It was something along the lines of, she doesn't like... Oh, I don't know if she doesn't like it, but she wanted a rather hokey character like that as well. And so thought of some of the things that he did. But she has not actually outright said he directly influenced the character because, one, nobody knows how Brenna would react. I suspect it would probably go to his head, to be honest with you. But further to that is, I think her response in one of the interviews was along the lines of, I'm not going to confirm or deny that, or I'm not going to be that rude. Which, while I'll give her props for pretending that had something to do with manners, that was not the case. We all knew it. But anyways, where I was going with this was to say, as much as I've maligned Brenna recently, James Corden should know better than to do pop-up musicals or any musical with him in it, regardless. Case in point, just, I was trying to get myself excited to go watch Cats, because I quite like Andrew Lloyd Webber's musicals. Cannot do so now that I've seen the trailers work for Cats with James Corden in it. It was awful. Suffice to say, do not make Ian... oh god, now I forget his last name. Anyways, do not make Magneto sing. Gandalf should not sing. I'm sorry. And neither should Judi Dench any longer. I don't know if she used to be able to, but yeah, she shouldn't any longer. No, I'm not opinionated in the slightest. Of course I am. This is not what you pay me for. So yeah, I couldn't see that one. Sorry. It was not something going to be on my radar for long. See. Okay, let's change it. Pop culture party. Name 4 fad diets. Atkins, keto, paleo, and carnivore. Yep. And one of the ones I think is a fad in a lot of places, just because it's so difficult to keep up, is locavore. Particularly in places like Canada, you can't really do it. Can't really do locavorism. The notion is that you have... The notion is that you only eat what you can get within... I think it was originally a 100-mile radius, although Canadians often try to take that as 100 kilometers, which is a very big difference. But anyways, but you only eat stuff locally produced, locally available, which very quickly comes into the not so much category when you get large portions of the year that you just can't grow stuff up here. And it's not even a matter of just using root vegetables and so forth. There was a lot of storage stuff going on in the past. And we actually had, on the whole, far worse health because of vitamin deficiencies and protein deficiencies. Well, not proteins, other nutrient deficiencies. And so locavorism these days is even harder. Not just because, you'd think international travel and shipping would make it easier, but I'd say locavorism is harder these days because there is an argument to be made that science has, I wouldn't say genetically modified, bred out a lot of the goodness that was in some of the earlier versions of the plants. Take, for example, the loss of one of the varieties of banana. If you've ever wondered why banana medicine, or sometimes those oddball banana marshmallow things, taste so weird, is because the flavor that they're developed based on, is from a banana that has now become internationally extinct. So people in our generation, and possibly the one right before us, did not have access to the banana that this is based off of. So without that palate experience, we often find the flavor compared to today's banana is quite disgusting. It's kind of like, let's hypothetically say we only ever had one banana-shaped food. And for the discussion purposes, said banana-shaped food will be a plantain. Yeah, I know they're not functionally or growth-wise the same, but to the untrained eye, they look kind of like a green banana. So if you got used to everything tasting like plantains for that shape, and then had to deal with banana flavor, even today's fruit bananas, it might not exactly be to your palate. Although, frankly, I'd rather it be the other way around. I mean, I don't mind plantains. They're okay in certain uses. But they're not my favorite. And it's just because I've never had to, day-to-day deal with a cuisine heavily based on them. I'm sure there's ways to make them interesting, but I find plantains dreadfully bland. So, yeah. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just, as I said, it is. It's a thing. And it's just what we're used to, right? Just because we have international cuisine availability does not necessarily mean we're actually used to all of the flavors. Fantastic Show Fox is being smart. When I go off the rails a little bit, or if the geek out's already been answered, he's switching the geek out. Smart Fox. Very, very smart Fox. Okay, this one has rolled 6 shows on which a puppet or stop motion animation. Stop animation? I guess that'll work. Up here, 6 shows. Well, we can get the Muppet Show out of the way, right? Maybe? Good old Jim Henson and Sesame Street. Or Sesame Park, but I'm not going to count those as 2 separate ones. That's just a regional Sesame Street. We have, what else? 6 shows, huh? I mean, really, you can go through the Henson Project catalog. That would probably do it. Jim Henson's Creature Shop is pretty good at that. So we've got, easily, I can think of 2 more. We've got Fraggle Rock and Bear in the Big Blue House. There are some Adult Swim ones. Like, title would be things like Puppets Who Kill, which is dark, understandably. Not my thing, but it works for the purposes of this conversation. So I don't know if that's not 6, right? No, can't be. It's 5, isn't it? I don't know. What else have we got? Minute. Oh. Wallace and Gromit. Oh, stop motion animation. Forgot about that. Yes. Also, Mr. Dressup. Yep. That's very Canadian, though, so not many would know about that one. I'm sure the US has something similar. I'm keeping a bridge to be able to get that tree down. Alf. Oh, forgot about that one. Oh, yeah, and then we've got Sesame Street and Sesame Park, so I'm out of here. Roll it. 2 films in which... Oh, Jennifer Lawrence. Sorry, not one of my favorites. So if somebody else can think of some Jennifer Lawrence films, go for it. If she happens to be in something that someone else I do enjoy is in, I watch it, but I don't go for Jennifer Lawrence films on the whole. I mean, within reason, when you think about it, the vast majority of actors and actresses get typecast. It sounds silly. It's not that they can only really play one character, but everybody is their own type, right? I say the vast majority because then you've got, multi-threats, like Gary Oldman is a good multi-threat actor, I'd say. Weirdly enough, I would say normally Judi Dench is a multi-threat actor. Exclude musicals on that one. Ian McKellen is what I was thinking of. He's the one who should never sing. David Suchet is another one that's a multi-threat, but then again, he hasn't done movies. He's done television and theater, but has done multiple different genders. So that was kind of interesting. And I guess if I want to go down that road, which I kind of opened the door to, my own fault, technically you could say that Travolta's a multi-threat. I'm not sure if I would really necessarily think that any longer, because a Travolta movie is very much a Travolta movie. And while, for what it's worth, I thought Travolta did okay in Hairspray. However, I do agree with the feedback that there were plenty more options for the role that he played, so I don't think they should have had him do that. It was just not appropriate. But on the other hand, I think it's Nikki Jablonski who played the lead character role of Tracy, and I think she did an absolutely fantastic job, and I would definitely watch other things she's in. Anyway, where are we here? That's not addressing the question, though, is it? 2 films with Jennifer Lawrence, yeah. No idea. Anybody else watch any Jennifer Lawrence films? We might have to ask our fine bot, or we can just skip it until we have someone who watches Jennifer Lawrence films, because we all know the Geek Out questions will come back. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to trim this side and take out all the trees, and yes, it looks like I'm doing precisely that, but I'm only going to take it out up to this line we've made here. That is the edge of the carpet art thing. Because on this side, I believe we're going to do the flying glove, which does not need trim out of the forest. Actually, having it flying over and above is probably a good thing. And if I choose to change my mind later, having the height provided by the trees left underneath the glove is actually a good thing, because then we can do other minor references to the world in Yellow Submarine. The sort of Pepperland was the focus or the start of the story. Pepperland was the place that needed to be saved from the blue meanies. When you think about it, as weird as the film is, none of it's inappropriate. I mean, not like the Beatles would really be into inappropriate material, but it seems to fit. At least up here right now, there seems to be a focus on kindness, and not just inclusivity level of kindness. It seems to be, yeah, an anti-bullying thing, I suppose. Well, I can guess, but there seems to be an emphasis on teaching about kindness in school. And so I guess Yellow Submarine would kind of work in that respect, because the whole point is the meanies were mean. I shouldn't say point, but the meanies were mean, and they didn't have to be. And Beatles came and started singing about all you need is love, which really is all you need is to be kind to your neighbor, kind to everybody else. Anyway, that's my little micro rant for the moment. Trees. Do I want to keep going with the trees? No. I just want the dirt. Where are we at? 64. Oh, here. Okay. Does this actually come out flat? Sort of. Huh. Okay, so this comes out into that. Right, I said I wasn't going to fill that. Okay. Good stuff. Now, how does this relate to that? Okay. This is 64 there. I'm gonna have to backfill that section down there, but I love that this is 64 that I can take off everything up the top. Oh, okay, so between here and over there. There we go. Okay. This. I do need to fix that. This is the I shall deal with it later portion. For now, I'm just going to block it off. There. That way I don't have to worry about it. And we've got a section in between that we can just clear out.
Ads are starting. Dylan will continue the conversation after the ads are over. Thank you for supporting the stream.
Yay! I have once again reminded myself I have to update Oz when there's a minor change, but did not do so, and I'm well aware that if I do that today, I will get mired in doing it. So it's not supposed to be more than a 10-minute activity, but of late, every 10-minute activity comes with like 3 to 4 hours of associated activities. So I have to be careful about my 10-minute activities, and I should probably finish packing for camp before I get into those sorts of 10-minute activities. I envy the Cubs today. Normally I don't, because I'm sick and tired of working with that section. Partly for the youth that we have in this particular round, and partly because leadership. Yeah, I'm not perfect. They're not perfect. But I just, yeah, didn't want to deal with them anymore. But this is one of those camps where it's one of the nicer ones we've been to, and it's got a bunkhouse that has, you know, warm kitchen facilities, an indoor hall, and all those kinds of lovely things. And so I kind of envy the Cubs this time. On the other hand, the weather is going to be supposedly nice, so we don't have to worry about, super cold temperatures, so tents aren't that bad. I'm actually vaguely wondering if I'm able to purchase a separate cover fly for my tent, because I really like the tent. I bought it as a sort of 3-season tent, but I'm thinking I may regret the fact that I didn't go for the 4-season version, just because it's the big difference really is just that it's got a fly that covers over top with some skirting for snow. And sometimes when it's just super cold, it's nice to have that extra skirting just to help keep the breezes going, but the air, breezes going, but the warmth in. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. I've actually had this really bizarre dream the other day, and it's not important because I don't dream all that many weird things. But I had a dream that for some stupid reason I got asked to make my wish list of all the cool camping gear I want, and the vast majority of it isn't cool. But it was just, oh yeah, okay, well, you know, X branded sleeping bag because that's the one I did research on recently. You know, X tarp thing or whatever, like stupid stuff like that. And I woke up going, why the heck do I even need that list in my head? Because it's not like anybody in our family gives anybody, like, you know, camping gear for Christmas or something, because first off, 9 chances out of 10 we've needed it before that, and that if it's a big enough need, we just do it. It annoys people that we spend money on stuff like that. It annoys people in the family that we do that, but I'm not a gear reviewer, and because I'm not that active, it would be nice. So I will never have a gear loft like the gear reviewers do, nor like the super hardcore members of our group do, because they're, I wouldn't say gearheads, it's not the word, more likely to be out and about. So, yeah. I'm not used to hanging out with people who, you know, it's like a November birthday or something, and they're like, yeah, I would like to go backpacking for my birthday. Excuse me? What? And they mean it. I think they're crazy, but, you know, that particular household, Fantastic Shop Fox, I know, is well aware, I think, that that whole household's crazy, but that's neither here or there. Songs about actors, perfect. Songs about actors is a tough one. I don't think I actually have much of an answer to that, so we'll let that go for a minute or two. But, there's probably songs in musicals that are, in essence, breaking the fourth wall, talking about acting. So that's a possible one. Kiss Me Kate, I think, as a musical, has some sort of song about actors. I can't recall exactly what it's called, though, because I know I learned it. I just can't remember its title. There's, in the musical Singin' in the Rain, with everybody's favorite, Gene Kelly. Well, everybody's pseudo-favorite. Or we had, I think Donald O'Connor's in that one. And Donald O'Connor gets a song about make him laugh. And he's talking about playing a comedic role. Doing something funny, slapstick or whatever else, to make people laugh. I'm going to take that because I think comedians get short-shifted here. Huh. Clint Eastwood by the Gorillaz. There you go. That's actually a little more accurate. If there hasn't been a song about Meryl Streep by now, there probably should be. Well, I'm going to take Streamer's Prerogative and roll that one. Oh. Huh. Interesting. You know, I have vaguely wondered, now that Oswin has a personality, I kind of vaguely wonder what kind of music that character, that individual, that, I don't know, thing, whatever. Sorry, I was personified Oswin and then chose not to, and then regretted that I had chose not to, because the way the world's going, Skynet and all, that at some point, Oswin Hal may be offended. Not like it's a thing at this point, but wouldn't hurt to get in the habit. I guess I have to take this tree out. It's bridging the gap. So, it rolled, and we've got 2 Disney titles in which a mermaid appears. Oddly enough, we've got an actual mermaid in Little Mermaid, clearly. And does it have to be animations? It does. Okay. I had another one, now I can't remember what it's called. I don't know if they had an animation in... There might be one in Peter Pan. I'm trying to think. There's none in the Nemo movies, because that's all about the sea creatures. I mean, once again, if we include DreamWorks, because we're saying Disney, but if it was, if we included DreamWorks, there's some god-awful mermaids in the Ice Age series. More accurately, there were sirens, though, depending on what lore you listen to, mermaids may or may not be the same thing as sirens in the end. There isn't a mermaid in officially in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, but then again, that was not animated either. I don't know if there's any in Atlantis. Somebody who's actually watched that would have to tell me. Okay. I have enough. I was going to say I have enough to start building down again, but I don't. Oh well, we'll fill in some spaces and get what we can. Let's back up by 2. 1, 2. Take this row, come along. As I said, pretty soon we'll be in the no excuses category and I'll have to go back to the other project. If I don't like it, one of the things I can do is pull down the Nowhere Man that's partially there and leave it as a record. That feels like a cop-out. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. We'll have to see. Weirdly enough, I even looked around for my cheating ability, where frequently what I've done in the past is if I'm struggling with a build, I will try and find someone else's 3D design. You've seen we use Lightmatica for it, but even when I don't use Lightmatica, I will find that someone else has done like a 3D model to print, maybe sort of for an action figure or something along those lines. And no such luck in this case. I saw one, but it might end up being an inspiration, but I just really didn't quite like the look of it. Then there was another one I saw that I thought, okay, well, maybe this will work. Well, it's not a 3D model that I can print. And I've contacted the artist for permission to purchase it from them. No response yet, which is a little disappointing, but I understand why. Okay, this is 64. I need to level down to here. Okay. Oof. Okay, where did the bed go? I should probably move it. Move it, move it, move it. I think I will just move it. Move it! Nearly moved the bed. That's not smart. That bit's gonna come down though, so it's gonna move eventually. I guess. Actually, let's just cut that. So 1, 2. Let's cut this down. Right, 4, yes. So the bits where I know it's gonna come down, I should just cut it as we go. That would be sensible. One, 2, 3, 4. Oh, whoops. Okay. Rather than chopping out all the other stuff and then backfilling over here and then having to cut this stuff out, why not just do it as we go? That would be... Oops. I'm gonna say that would be semi-sensible, except when it's not. But yeah, because there's a lot of fixing to go through here, right? Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I can take a lot of this and cover up that side. I'm also aware that I'm sort of working on 2 sides at once. Okay, let's take out some of this. Right, yes. This one's got to be 2, so this one needs to be out here, I think. 1, 2, there we go. So the bed's in the wrong spot. Bed specifically. Goofy thing. Put it. That'll do for now. So 1, 2. Can we count to 2? Yes. some blocks. Yes. Doo, doo, doo. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So this part of the top layer is done. We're getting here. 4 Superman enemies. 4 of them. Okay, just about everybody and their dog knows Lex Luthor. But what now? Right? Okay, 2, 2. 2, 2. This one's got to come off. Another layer. That one. 1, 2. Hello, pig. I'm trying to ask myself why I'm doing this today. Be very quiet. Sorry about that. I'm also a little curious about the audio. Somebody said it was okay, which means it's passable. Probably still sounds tinny and room echoey. At least that's my bet. This. I'm actually quite surprised, to be honest with you, just how much stone is in these layers. Like, honestly, I didn't expect this much. I know there's caves all over the place. Like, that makes sense, but I didn't expect this much stuff. Yes. And Batman, okay. Did anyone team up with Lex? That's the other question. Okay, here's another question for you. I cannot remember which side of the argument most people are on. 1, 2, 2. Are you in or out, generally people, on the notion of... as in, where was Superman created? Some say he's Canadian. Some are so resistant to the idea that that's just not possible in their world. And I can't blame them. I mean, I could see people being annoyed by that, sure. Oh, that's 3. I don't want 3. I want 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's corner 1. I'm squaring the corners. 2, yeah. Too far. This way, that way, this way. Which is going to mean this one needs one here. That one needs one there. That one needs one here. Now we can cut across. Okay. That's 2, right? When we're only at 40 minutes left, so if you guys are getting sick and tired of this, don't worry, it won't be much longer. And by the way, if you're not multi-parking on a Friday, you should be. As I understand it, the Streamcraft crew had quite a lot of interesting folks. Oops, 1, 2, whoopsie daisy. 1, 2. I had quite a lot of interesting folks who tend to stream on Fridays. So I would say that one of your smartest things you could possibly do if you've got access to a browser that can handle it is to find your favorite multi-streaming, not service, what's the word? Multi-streaming website that can take more than one Twitch feed at a time, and be checking out some of the other Streamcraft people that are live on Fridays as well. Also, there are a few that talked about being live at times. I don't know what time today, but there were a few that were talking about streaming on Friday. We had, I think Wolfen was talking about some Friday stuff, so she may be live now because she's the one I usually collide with. And then Lyric was talking about doing some stuff on a Friday, and a few other people. So there's good folks out there, absolutely amazing folks out there on a Friday, and we should be always saying hello to them. It really feels like today is not a Friday. It really feels like today should be any other day but a Friday. But it is a Friday, and I don't know what to do with that. Ah! Oops, that was a dumb one to put in there. Oh well, we'll get there. Okay, I need to put myself box. This one, let's put this out for dirts, and this out for random stuffs. This one, that one here. Hello. And that, all the woods, these. Oh, and a stone box. I'm gonna need a stone box. For the dirts. Actually, let's keep those until we don't need them anymore. Great. So if I'm not in the headspace to, or not headspace, sorry, if I have not figured out the Nowhere Man a bit more by the time we stream again on, like, Monday's Lego, Tuesday, I suppose, 1, 2, 1, 2, this one, and I'm just thinking this before we get to that comment. 1, 2, okay, come on, there, yeah, that's good. Okay, if I have not figured out more about the Nowhere Man by the time we stream Nowhere Man related or Minecraft related stuff again on Tuesdays, then we have a bunch of little projects that we could and or should be doing. Things like smelters, and we haven't gone to the Nether properly for a while, which means we've gypped ourselves out of sunblock choices. I know I can get them from other people, but there's always merit to trying to do it yourself. What else have we got? Yeah, it's just like it's Halloween week coming up, so it'll be kind of busy around here. I do not have any Halloween themed things. I'm also trying to figure out what I would do the week before next month's stream weekend, because that will be my birthday, and I've wanted to do something, interesting or different or whatever every year for my birthday, and I don't usually succeed in doing so. It's not meant as a whinge or anything like that, it's just I don't, so I want to put some brain power to that as well. Yeah, I can't seem to think of a whole lot else. There's always stuff to do in Minecraft. The problem is it's just mostly grindy. Like we've squeaked ourselves through getting enough glass for bottles for the honey farm. Unfortunately, we did not get ourselves enough to have any sand left over for glass blocks or for any other needs. So that's a to-do. So, I mean, there's all kinds of that grindy to-do stuff that needs to be done. I don't know. I think, yeah, even if I had a week to do absolutely nothing, like a week off kind of thing, I don't think I would actually get a whole lot farther ahead. Just reality. Okay. So this one, let's chop these. I know a lot of this is done in stone, and I want it to be dirt top layer, but we'll get there. I don't think well, maybe I have. I was gonna say, I don't think I've got temporary Minecraft burnout. You guys may be able to tell me otherwise. Anyway. 1, 2. This one can go. That one. There we go. Trim that corner. 1, 2. And this one. That one. That's that layer. We're on 67. Great. Yes. Let's trim. Let's go. Let's see. 1, 2. Here. There. This one. 1. Oh. Ouch. Whoops. Okay. Take this off. Thank heavens for the people who did netherite mining this year. I know I have a beacon, but the way I'm moving around here, it doesn't actually reach where I need it to. So even when I set up the second beacon, there'd be a lot of moving it. And that's not on my to-do list. That's 64. I'm going to move all that anyways. Ooh-wee. Okay, let's just do 63. I can't count. Oh, I got kicked. Yay! So what that means for you guys is there'll be an ad in 2 minutes, so I apologize, but it is what it is. I'm going to leave it.
2, 4,
Hydrates for everybody all around.
Everybody hydrate!
Apparently, I have my hydrates ladder now. Good to know. Line B, what did I do with that? Oh, I see. Okay, I changed it. Gotcha. 1 ounce of water. Good. Yes, good point. I should hydrate. Alright. I'm going to be kicking myself in this corner pretty quick, so let's get up here, 63. Sort of right into the wall. We have a stone generator, so losing stone isn't a big deal. Oops. No point in digging them out if you don't have to. There we go. Okay, 63. I guess I might as well just do this. 164, right? Yeah. This could have been stone. It's there that it matters. For now. Alrighty. I'm gonna peel this off and end up in a hole, right? Isn't that how it goes? Let's just see if I can catch it before I fall in the cave. Ah! Okay, we're not. Maybe I'm not in a hole. I don't know. This one. So it's terraformed wrong, but at least I'm gonna get the shape in there. And I'm going to have to build more in front of the stairs. This won't be the right shape, but that's okay. We're going to get out of here. So we have less than half an hour, maybe call it 20 minutes, 25 minutes maybe, of the day, and then I will wish you guys a good weekend. Now, the reason I bring that up is just that, you know what? Never mind. The train left the station.
Ads are starting. Dylan will continue the conversation after the ads are over. Thank you for supporting the stream.
Well, if I thought I had any chance of getting that train of thought back, well, that just vanished. For some reason I meant to tell you that, whatever it was, but hey, we'll figure it out later. Ooh, we made the other side. Yay! If I wasn't going camping this weekend, I would probably spend a good period of just doing some grindy stuff, because I'm getting really quiet, really distracted when that's the case, and I need to figure out something else that will get me chitter-chattering. Not that you guys necessarily need to hear a non-stop conversation, but it feels more satisfying for me as a streamer when I'm chattering about something. So I need to figure that one out. One of the other thoughts actually I had with regards to Nowhere Man is I could actually skip doing his character altogether. And instead... Oh, I don't have 2 out from this corner. That better? Let's see. 2. 2. 2? 2. Right? Yes. Feels weird. 2, 1, 2. It's because I have 3 out the front. I don't need the 3rd one. Aha! I just did it wrong is all. Perfect. Okay. In this corner. 1, 2. Right? 1. What am I measuring from? 1, 2. Okay. Which means 1, 2. And then 1, 2. That looks better. Okay. Why is it am I always on the wrong side of the building when it gets to be nighttime? Oh, and it's raining. Beautiful. Okay, well, let's take the inside route. Detour? I saw Dadcraft working for... Oh, which door did I been? This doesn't matter. I saw Dadcraft working for Wolfen last night and doing something with looked like it was cleaning out some sort of copper or something from a tower chamber. I couldn't quite figure out what the plan was there. Because sometimes it looked like the room was being intentionally made very copperless and square, and other times it looked like there were certain features that were being left, but I couldn't tell the difference between the two. And so I was puzzled. But on the other hand, just doing so looked like a whole heck of a lot of fun. Because there was a few spots where things, like just blobs of copper parts, I guess, blocks, were nicely encased in some sort of other stone or brick or whatever it was that DC was digging out. And so it was something that it was a feature you never would have seen if you didn't try to dig the place out. And I think that was kind of neat. I love that level of discovery. So when, in early game, when you need, you need the copper or whatever, and you happen to find a copper ore vein, or you need a whole lot of iron and you find an iron ore vein, I like that level of discovery, even though later on in the game it's just another thing, it's just another whatever. So I actually quite liked that element of it. One of the games that I've thought of as a backup, we've talked about it a little bit, is backup if I didn't have a Lego set on one of the days, or we finished a Lego set too early. Rather than starting another one, having weird, janky offset weeks, because I've noticed I've been doing that a lot. Did I actually get all of this cut down? No, I didn't. Oh, okay. So I do need to chop into this wall some more. That's okay, I guess, because I wanted to take it down a little further. Anyway. Where am I here? My English, not English moment. Words. I'd say words are hard, but no. Words just non-existent. Anyway. There was a point to that at some point. So, I find these things interesting to find initially. Then when you don't need them, then it's just, they're in the way. Like this one will have to come out. That's okay. Let's start at the top and work our way down from the stairs. Question of the day. Given that it's objects and not people, since people win for sure, I get the most utility from and would miss the most. Oh, sorry. I think there's a difference between what I value the most versus what I get the most utility from and would miss the most. For example, I place a very high value on the wedding band, but if I had to choose my most critical things to take if it's going to be stranded somewhere, it might take a backseat to your iPhone, MacBook, and Kindle. Yeah, I could see that. So maybe that's part of what it is. I think it allows Geek Out to have two separate questions on that front. Not Geek Out, sorry, question of the day to have two separate questions. But like you said, people is number one for me, and they're not things. So what things do I value the most? Well, I would say my wedding rings, which I can't wear, but I would say my wedding rings are number one in that respect. Probably, if it's three things, right? It said, it was what, three things? Three objects, okay, yeah. Then I don't know if I could limit to three in that respect. But the other thing is it shifts, right? So mine would be related to memories. You could say wedding bands, I guess, fall in that category of being related to memories. But we also have some boxes in our house, like wooden boxes that Fantastic Sherlock Fox purchased, that hold memories. They've taken several years to fill up and overflow and such. And at some point we're going to need another one. But we'd have to figure out what sort of, like what we want to do to try and store things. But as far as memories go, I guess in that respect, because media is stored digitally these days, I would say our network attached storage or the photos directory from there. And the reason, of course, that is photos, memories, right? Now, that said, I know we've got backups of it elsewhere. I also do have regrets. While it was a pain in the neck at the time, and sometimes the days were driving me crazy, I didn't take enough photos of my kids when they were younger. and that's something that one can never get back. So there's things I have, visually stuck in my head that I will never be able to share with anybody just because we never had photos of it. And I thought, I've got enough because I thought I had as many or even half as many as my parents did of myself and my brother. But turns out that's certainly not the case. I felt my brother was kind of nuts taking a bazillion photos of his kids, and yet he hasn't got anywhere near the number of photos my parents did, or home movies, or Super 8s, or whatever. So, that's a regret I have, so I would not want to lose the photos directories. It was also brought home in my head last night about the photos directories because of watching a presentation with Scouts. Long story made super short, we just went to an adventure presentation. It's supposed to encourage youth to think big when deciding what sorts of adventures they want to do. And we've got a foundation or whatever group that's helping fund that. Or fund groups' adventures. And so they brought in a guest speaker who had done a far north winter adventure. But how that relates to what I'm saying now about photos is that she and her travel partner had an unfortunate situation where he fell through some very thin sea ice. Scary as all get out and all that entails, etc. But in with that, they unfortunately lost his phone. As in, the phone made it through, but it was absolutely useless after that point. They weren't able to recover it. So they've lost a bunch of the photos of their adventure, and they will never be able to get that back. And so that's what reminded me, of how precious memories are, whatever way we choose to share them with people. So, yeah, that's what that reminded me of. So the memory boxes, I guess, if I could do that, or the photos directories or whatever, would be some of my key items. Let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2, these two. And then I've got to take out this one, and that one to make them fruit. My markers. So, yeah, that's... Oh. That's interesting. The depth is different on each side. Oh, right, because... Yes, I forgot, because of the stairs, the building. Aha! Up here. See? This thing. Anyway, so that's one of my choices would be. Yeah, so value in terms of meaning versus utility. Weirdly enough, there's a blanket that I would keep. When Fantastic Sherlock Fox and I were on one of our Disney World trips, somehow we came up with a blanket that is very similar to, in construction, to a blanket Fantastic Sherlock Fox has with animals and stuff on it. And I don't know why we got it. There was my brain wants to tell me it's a freebie, but Fox has a weird way of coming up with freebies in weird places that turn out to be not freebies, but the story shall never be told why or how. And it's meaning that things may not actually have been freebies, but he just knew I'd like it, so I get told it's a freebie, just so I don't razz him about it. So I don't know. But anyways, I've got a blanket like that I like it partly because of the memory. I like it because it happens to be one of those things where you luck out on the perfect weight for you, for a lightweight blanket to just chill under, or to add as another layer or whatever. So that it holds a whole ton of memories for me from our adventures in the various Disney things and road trips and whatever. Even though the blanket hasn't been on all of them, it just still reminds me of these other activities. It's seriously night already? Really? Wow. So that's one of the things I'd probably want. Let's sleep. So basically, I'd also want things that remind me of people, or for lack of a better description, other living beings that are no longer with us. And the reason I say lack of a better description is I would include things like, we used to have a dog, and I miss the dog a lot. I think Fantastic Sherlock Fox does too. And so if I was having to, let's say things hold value, okay? So we're talking utility is one thing, but utility items are often covered by insurance. So if you had to go, you know, what's Fantastic Sherlock Fox's phrase for this? A bug out bag, I guess? Some of the other people in stream would understand that concept of a bug out bag. I would say probably would want stuff like memory related things to people, pets, yeah, that sort of stuff, I guess. There are times that I think about, you know, projects. Like, for example, this sounds silly, but there's always those projects, as we say, I keep talking about the getting round to it, right? The round to it. But there are projects that, let's hypothetically say that there was going to be a forest fire coming through, and I had to go. And I knew that it was basically a given, particularly for the purpose of conversation, basically a given that my house would be destroyed and nothing would be left, right? That's kind of my thing. Then I kind of ask myself, what would I value the most in that sense? Because of course there's the essentials part, which I'm not going to count in the what do you value, but if you had to take up or take things, what would I take? And yeah, as I said, it'd be memories, memory boxes and so forth. But there's also the things you think about that you might not necessarily consider. And I say projects related to that because it could be something like, maybe it's a recipe book from a relative that you love the recipes, even if you never really want to make them again, or the practicality is you probably won't, even if you say you will. Those sorts of things would be, you know, you'd miss them. But it's a thing, right? We always say, you know, things can be replaced, people can't. It's true. But if you were taking some things because you can't replace them, then yeah. It's things I wouldn't have normally thought about. Stuff that, yeah, I may not use it every day, but it reminds you of people. Wow. That's one of those, like, almost dark depressing topics, which is not really intentional. What else do I value? Let's see. If it's something brighter. Stuff. You know, in a weird way, sometimes it's valuing the utility things and having a favorite one, right? So some people have their favorite water bottle. Some people have their favorite jacket. Some people have, you know... So there's favorites that I think would probably qualify. And that's probably fairly important as well. I certainly have my favorite water bottle. I got that one from Fantastic Sherlock Fox, which was swag from one of his business conferences, because he had bought me a lovely Yeti water bottle, and unfortunately it was just too big to fit in most of the things. So, like, I could throw it inside my backpack, but that's not quick and convenient. And it doesn't fit in, say, the cup holder in a vehicle or something like that. So we swapped, because he got one from his swag, and I've liked the slightly smaller size, but then later on, so did he. So I actually went and bought him one of the smaller size as well. Because it's too darn useful. Keep thinking I should put stickers on it. We've got stickers that I want to put on the outsides of my water bottle and stuff, and I'm just trying to decide whether I want to put them on the water bottle or on my coffee cup. But yeah. So there's things like that. Generic valuing is things I value the most, probably not, but for the purpose of what else is useful, and I'm not saying like laptops and phones and whatnot, but things that are useful to have around, I guess. And in that vein, I think I would probably add I would probably add, lately I've discovered having a fidget spinner is useful. And it sounds silly because I'm not a hyperactive in a physical sense kind of person. I've discovered that the hyperactivity that got me, partially responsible for the ADHD diagnosis is it's internal, but if I do something physical like a fidget spin, it frees up some of the tracks in my brain to be actually able to listen and take information more, which is helpful in many, many different situations. One of which was my dance weekend. I was really struggling with being able to figure out some of the steps we were doing and actually pull them together in a usable way. And so it turned out that I had to go get my fidget spinner from my backpack, and I didn't even really do much with it, just kind of holding it in my hand and absentmindedly fiddling with it. I discovered I actually do spin it while I'm dancing, but that's not intentional. I wasn't paying attention, and it happened. And I found that useful for the purposes of allowing me to be more functional in other ways. Prediction. Oh, there is a prediction. Ah, whoops. Thank you. Sorry, I did not even realize we had one. I talked about it, and then it completely slipped my mind. It's been like that for a while then. Sorry, people. I apologize. Okay, so this has been up for a while. There's only one user involved. I'm going to bet you that's Fox, which means I'll have to close it. And it's just we have... How many? 11? Sure, we can do that. Let's do that one, get it out of the road. That sounds bad, but it means we don't have to have the prediction things. Ooh, sitting up all that long. I like a mansion. I would totally consider building a mansion again in the future. Like, I didn't build this one, but I would totally consider building one as a base in the future. It's convenient. A lot of the spaces worked, mostly as is. 11. That's a weird number left, but sure. Yeah, if we do an even number, we tend to get an even number. So if we do an odd number, shall we get an odd number? Let's find out. Nope. Come on. And we need this here, that there. Okay, so we have no diamonds in the inventory whatsoever. And I believe it's Fantastic Shot Fox in here, who has put in for, let's see, slow, even, or fast, odd. Okay. And I'm gonna, my gut says odd this time. Oh, nope, I'm wrong. It's even. So Fox gets his points back. Woohoo! But we get closer. So what we're doing with these, part of the reason I keep pushing for it is, we've talked about it, but I want to do Lucy in the Sky with diamonds. And we're going to need a whole ton of ore and or likes to go with it. That's the easiest cop-out. I may do another reference to it later, but we'll see how enthusiastic I feel, I guess. Yeah. That around the front. Okay, so we're almost at the top of the hour, which is almost a rescue for you guys. I do enjoy streaming. Don't get me wrong. I just have a bar to meet, and there are quite a few days that I just don't feel I meet that bar for my own sanity. So we have growth, right? Growth's the thing, isn't it? I don't know. It's like, how do I explain it? In my head, I want to give myself 5 stars for the day, but even if things apparently appeared to go well, I will never rate above 4 or 4.5. So, I think it's just because I've got too many things going on at once. And I think, actually, Fantastic Sherlock Fox, if you have the opportunity, I'm going to move it to where it belongs, but could you please write in, as an exclamation point idea, but some sort of thing about whether it be a redeem, or whether it be just a command people can run, probably free, or whether it be a sticker, doesn't really matter, something, to remind me to slow down. Because I was listening to my VOD, that's what I meant to say like 20 minutes ago, and discovered that as much as I thought I was having fun, whether I was excited or wound up about something, I did not actually slow down. It got to be such that I had problems listening to it, which is weird when that's listening to myself. So I just need a reminder to build something so that anybody else who's finding the same issue can just let me know. Being conscious of it doesn't solve it, but it helps. The other piece I found when testing or troubleshooting on the sound was that if I was having challenges with my own speed, not just listening to it, but actually being slower. We're over here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go. If I had challenges with my own speed in terms of staying slower, that posed problems for the sound troubleshooting because I couldn't as easily ascertain whether or not some of the clippy bits were because of the actual issues with the sound in a technical way, or whether it was me just being ridiculously fast and it just blends the two together, which does not help anybody in terms of trying to suss out the problem. So I live, I learn. In this corner, let's see. 1, 2 is fine. 1, 2. That means 2 out here. 1. So, yeah. We're getting closer to a visual stamp that I'm a little happier with. I know that it's becoming more and more obvious of the mansion. I mean, usually they're hidden inside the woodland sections, and this one happened to be on an edge. But, yeah. Okay, ads, I'm going to do the same thing we usually do and just snooze them because all I want to do is get through this little chopping section here and we shall raid out. If anyone who is in chat would like to guide the raid by telling us who you'd like to raid out to, then that would be wonderful. If one of the mods finds someone they would like to raid to, feel free to just go ahead and start it, and I will catch on board to that train, because it's time. I think we both need it. Rolled a geek out? Really? 2 characters from Coco. Oh, phooey. Thinking about that yesterday because I was trying to avoid Coco cards. Oh well. Not important. 1, 2. Get these ones. Oh, I have some dirt. That'll do. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. And that's fine. It goes through here. There, now I have my 2 marker all the way down to the ground. So now it's a matter of chopping away 64, and we're good. Right? Yes. And I have some more trees to take out and whatnot. Alright. I will probably putter at this a little tiny bit more, just for sanity purposes. I need to let my laundry dry and stuff like that before I can actually pack it up. But I think we're going to get ourselves out of here. It's been a bit of a day, and we got some stuff done. We're getting closer. So let me just do a quick run. Yeah, so we're just about done the cheesy level. I mean, I could fix the stairs and stuff like that, but that's a separate piece for a separate day. I have a bit more figuring out to do in terms of like, what is the front really like? Because I wanted to actually just replicate that all the way around. And I need to work on this guy. He looks, yeah, it looks really strange. What I might do actually is, I've got access to a version of the large teddy bear that Mama Bear got for Christmas last year. So I could even use that as sort of a base piece. A base sort of reference, I guess, for the Nowhere Man's sizing and rough shape. Because I wouldn't make it as tall, nor would I use the upper limbs quite the same, but it gives me a bit more shape to work with. I'm just losing it without a base frame in here, so. Any case, neither here nor there. We got it done. Let's see who's up. And get ourselves rolling. Because you guys need a weekend, as do I. Whatever weekend means. And then we can refresh, you know, get back on track and do something interesting for Lazy Monday. I'm not really sure what Lazy Monday is going to entail at the moment. Fox says we have a plan. If it turns out we don't have a plan, we'll be doing Astroneer. It's another one of those like quasi-miney, crafty type of things. But on the bright side, as far as my style is concerned, it's a little cozier, and you don't have mobs chasing you down at any time of day, but there are dangerous plants you want to stay away from. There's probably more to it than that. My son says, you know, don't fall off a cliff or whatever because you'll hurt yourself. All of that. And you can suffocate with no air because you're in space and all this jazz. So it's all good. But let's see, who do we have that we can raid to? Wolfen's up, but I don't suspect they're going to be up for all that much longer. Although, let me see if they're doing a 3... Fridays are marked as 3 hours, so let's see. If not, Wolfen is an absolutely fantastic person to join a raid train from, so I think we're just going to go over there. So all the best to all of you. Have yourself a wonderful weekend, and we shall see you on the other side. Let's get this raid started to Wolfen. There we go.
Mischief managed.
Mischief managed. Once again, if you have a suggestion for a sound to use instead, please do drop that in the Discord so I can remember to change it up. Thank you very much to Swanky Potato for the clue spending today, and to Fantastic Sherlock Fox for being our active moderator. It was awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, if there was any other chat, all good. So, we're headed over to Wolfen. Do give them my best, and I shall see you on Monday. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye for now.
Transfer complete.